day 2 at Commsverse, and this is our second hour of live streaming, which is not really live and it's not really streaming, but it's fun anyway. So we're recording. So we got some video, we got some audio, we got amazing kids, we got amazing speakers, people, sponsors. Yeah, people. Well, people. You got people.
Are speakers
awesome.
people?
And people
Really
from
yeah.
awesome companies as well.
Yes, with socks.
Yeah, with great swag.
Oh, Marine loves socks.
I love branded stuff.
Please,
Every year we do different. Yeah, I think I've got.
I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, you like that. Well, welcome. Are we ready for it to finish? We're into the third quarter now, aren't we? Or the fourth quarter even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No extra time. No penalties.
Okay. All game. Extra time.
All right. Cool. So, you can.
What do you want to do? No.
I want to say something. Because that's the conference here. I finally have my pink keyboard.
Yeah. The pink keyboard.
Pink keyboard.
So I don't know whether you know the story from last year, but we talked about the fact we could not get a pink keyboard, and Logitech didn't do them. You did them in English, you only did them in white. Something.
They only did it in Russian.
Yeah.
And I needed more person.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And they had the mark. Talk to us. We're back in the joke, and then 2 hours later, said my boss told me wants to know why we don't do things as usual. And 2 months later, it disappeared.
We need a mouse and a headset.
The mouse with it I have already as well. So the headset I don't have same thing.
Webcam.
Yeah, you can make that happen.
I know that. I'll come to you.
I was happy with the keyboard.
Very good part of fun. Yeah, so we had video that keyboard.
And well, we're Logi Looming as well. So Logitech has that Luminary program with Microsoft MVPs where they give us things to test out or to make a buzz about, or break, right? So that's a lot of fun as well. So a few, let's say weeks ago, we saw the full introduction of your new series, the Board 65. I love that. Now you can push it around as well, so that you can have either the camera on top or the camera below. I love that.
We love it. So everyone's been playing with it on our stand. They've been flipping it. Like people do themselves.
Sounds like a great marketing thing. Come and flip it.
Yeah, I mean, just all the toggle underneath. Just that, just lovingly drops down. The orientation group of collaboration, you want the camera on you. If you're then taking it into another meeting room with tables, you want it head high. You want the camera underneath screen for that. Multi-purpose. Dan is awesome. You can get about for instance, if you allow, you wouldn't be able to flip it. So go with our stand. Enjoy. You did it.
You're flipping the name. If I could get you just to speak closer to the mic, then everybody else can hear these great jokes as well, which is fun. So you're going to be treated really nicely because you guys who know Logitech, who know it well.
And Randy will have a go if
That is
Big Randy.
Yeah. We thought about it. So I have a question for you. Are you guys finally this year on the radio show, we won't tell anybody else, we'll keep it for ourselves, going to allow us to video No, your face is saying no. Nobody else asks for that, only you. What are you looking at me like that?
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I've got 2 video cameras.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I have 2 video cameras at my desk. One for my company.
I mean, we're talking about Brio webcam.
Of course. So I got features. One on one laptop, one on the other, and my keyboard is one next. So that's the keyboard and mouse using Logic to cover up. But that camera doesn't move, so I have to have a separate camera on each machine. And so, trust me, one's an expensive one, but and another one is some cheap thing just because if I use it and look at it, it's expensive. So when you video the camera and don't seem to stop it, why are you looking at me as if I'm nuts?
I kind of understand. I understand really well. We've got a new keyboard, and for the Mac, the Windows, the close.
Yeah.
We like a webcam does actually connect as a wired device in.
To the keyboard.
Well, no, into something, into your laptop, or into one of our Logitech, or a Logitech, the hot desk kit system that we do. So the peripherals do need that direct connection. That's where we're going to not be able to screen.
Yeah.
Here's the answer.
Wireless webcam.
A Logitech or from a dock or something, and then you can.
Can you have multiple machines on one dock? You see how many marketing ideas.
See, well, why are you not just using this?
Okay. But the thing is still connected to one machine. If I have to work on a different machine, I want to.
How close are these machines?
Next door to each other.
Unplug them. I'm a solution provider.
I love it. Come
He's
to Logitech
lazy.
and get a solution provider.
He's lazy, he doesn't want to unplug and.
I guess part of it is that I live with. I mean, I live with children, and I can certainly live with children there now. But just seems a logical next step. It's really good.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not an expert.
But you probably come across a lot of niche questions, I guess.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah. And we do try and cater for colours, different use cases, different personas, so we do now give 3 colours to most of our popular brands. So it needs to be fresh. Graphite is not enough anymore. We have white, and we have graphite in meeting rooms. So certain banks kind of holders will have to have off-white. So we manufactured in off-white. But we've done a unique thing with meeting rooms. I don't know if you know the Rally Bar Huddle.
Yeah.
So it has a magnetic front. It comes as graphite, but you can buy an off-white from Hector front cover. You can even personalise it. So if you're a bank or an NHS trust, and you've got hospitals, you want a easy white. So we've got magnetic covers. And I love to brand my customers, so they're insured that they'll brand onto the camera itself, not just on the Microsoft MTR, the screen, or the tap, just put it on the camera. Quite cool.
Right.
So we're giving choice, but it does come, you have to go to Mecca and just order that for, less than $100. But
Yeah, but I can see that, for example, if you want somewhere to, so let's say every year you have a different internal marketing or messaging around better hiking in your city. Yeah, something like that. So you can probably have that like a big sticker and then just, how do you call that? Like a car wrapping. You can have that then wrapped on the model.
Or you just customize the 3D printed new front cover.
I tell you what it does do. We're really good at sustainability. Matt looks like that. Really, really good thing. Save the planet. Because banks did want off-white, we had to manufacture physical bars. But we don't really want to do that because there wasn't that popular, these off-whites. Certain companies like them. So if we can not manufacture ones that sit on shelves and end up not being used, the cover is a real good sustainability message. So there you go. Again, saving the planet.
Yeah, I get that because you're building something. How many items that do you sell every year?
We sell 3.5 million products a week.
So, Maureen, how many a year?
Yeah,
What's the math, mate? Quickly.
Keep it zero. Yeah.
4.5 billion.
Or 3.5 million a week.
Ah, it's only
So, yeah.
times 53, yeah.
Crazy. And that's, we're like a global logistics company as well, and we've got shipping it, it's no easy task. So all the sustainability comes into our manufacturing process. The partners we use, we actually push certain requirements onto them. To be part of our ecosystem, they have to be sustainable. And then when it gets to the customer, we want them robust. We want them to be used for longer and longer. We don't want them to go into landfill. You know, that's the truth. Now, we do this with our meeting rooms, so any of our bars can bring your own device, plug in your laptop. It can be a Windows 11 MTR or an MTR on Android. That same bar can be reused. We're not actually saying rip it out and replace. Again, it's just putting that message. It's great for the customer. They get massive amount of return on investment from the product because it stays longer. Bad for me as a sales guy because I'm not changing them very often. You know, a 5-year becomes a 7-year because these are good products, robust. But hey, we move other ones down the stack. The smaller ones go into exec officers. Again, there's a market there. Small booth, single person, dual person. We've got products that go in there. And we also have environmental sensors. Have you heard of Spot? Yes. Good answer.
No.
Something about
Bad answer. You're bad.
Yeah,
Come
you're
to our
luminary.
stand, I'll talk to you about Spot. Basically a piece of plastic. Stick on a wall, it has a 4-year battery life. And it actually does air quality. So the particles in the air harm our blood flow. CO2 makes you drowsy. Not very sort of in tune with the meat, and you get distracted. Humidity. So we're actually capturing these in small booths without video and pushing it back into our sync management platform. So a radar will know if you come into my room. We could do a scheduler panel on the outside that goes red and books. If you then go out of that room, because the radar can't pick you up, it goes green. So auto book and release. But all that information, that air quality goes to sync, and buildings managers, corporate real estate will make really good decisions on the amount of usage, but also the quality of the meetings in there. So we're actually helping people feel better, not just lovely keyboards, you know, sustainable. Yeah, we don't want bad risks, do ergonomics, but in the meeting room, the air quality is a massive thing. So we're going from video rooms to non-video rooms. How many non-video rooms are there? What is the percentage of meeting rooms in the world?
Let's say half.
If you've gone for half, I'll go for 49.
It's one of those guys. Yeah, you're going to go. I reckon it's about 10%. And this is Microsoft talk in Zoom.
Okay.
So, single person Zoom, a very good mobile call, charge call, or take your laptop in. But they won't have a screen, they won't have a camera. Webcams can come into that smaller environment, but there's so many of these rooms that are not going to have video. So we don't want to limit ourselves to the 20% of rooms to do, and there's a lot of them other things. We want to go to the 80%, and there's something that says it's got a pin panel, red green, you know, you can go in or not. That's out of that to a management platform thing. But it's great for us. So we've gone from video to non-video things that are really good for organizations.
Yeah,
Smart.
because that's a whole different vertical. You got like
Crazy.
mouse and keyboards, you got Bluetooth, you got the NPRs. Now you got the whole
Non-video room. And corporate real estate needs this information. We have this spot, we have 5 sensors in one. Plus an antenna, plus a radar. And then that can actually do a handshake. There's thousands of these spots everywhere to a LoRa WAN gateway, feeding our single pane of glass in management with all that information. So in 9 to 12 months, you can actually really make great decisions. Not only on should we have more of those small booths, but can we do something better with ventilation and air and all that kind of thing.
Especially that because those small booths, I don't really like them. It's getting hot in there and you are feeling lightheaded when you come out because it's so less oxygen that gets in. So it's great that something like this exists. And
our APIs will go into a building management system, so they might be able to put a message on the tap scheduler and say, this room's too hot, it's out of order for 20 minutes. They might open the door, these kind of things. It's just the APIs are key into other people's systems, because we don't do everything in Logitech, but at least we have raw data to feed other systems. But 80%, I reckon it could be more. It could be 85. I don't know. I've made it up. But literally, it's not 50% or 49%.
They said based on Zoom. It
Spoken like a true account manager.
Salesman.
I made that up.
Yes. So this device, it just looks like a plate on the wall, because I remember putting some in some years ago, and they were just nice little neat things in the. But people were climbing desks to take them off because they thought they were being filmed and recorded and all that kind of stuff. But it's something that just sits anonymously.
Yeah, there's
in
no light, there's no hole in the middle. It is just a lovely aesthetic cream-coloured thing that will be unnoticed typically.
Yeah,
it's not something that blinks. I can see why people might not like that, because they'll go, hang on, what is that doing?
They're just counting people going in the room, but people thought they were being monitored and recorded.
Yeah.
So when we were at Microsoft, where we went to the place where they test all of those team certified products.
What was the name of that place?
Wasn't there something like that as well?
Probably. I mean, I know it's not a unique product, but it's a new product.
They are around, but I think each sensor has a different. So we've got 5 into one. So we've tried to do a rounded version. It's a decent price point. We now know what the price is, and it's not too bad, to be honest. I think it could do really well as a product
on its own right.
And it takes us to people like corporate real estate and facilities managers, people we don't talk to. Typically, we talk to AV people and IT people, but now we're talking to buildings people who perhaps design buildings 5, 10, 15 years in advance. It puts us really on the map with regards to that.
I think it's a brilliant solution. I need to come over and look at how what it is and how it looks like. But I think it's a brand new market. Yeah. And now we're all going back to the office, and we need to go back to the office more.
I think there's a lot of people who disagree with you in this country, especially university teachers.
But I'm seeing
on strike.
More and more companies saying, like, you need to come back 100% of the time.
That's because they don't trust you, my friend.
With good reason, but that's a different discussion. But no, but that's brilliant. Yeah, because you want to optimize the amount of space you got.
I mean, it's the main cost. If you're a homeowner, your house is probably the most valuable thing you buy in your life. Cars obviously can be about the second.
I'm not going to install one on the toilet so that my girlfriend can say, look how much time you're spending on the toilet, and the air quality is going really bad after 5 minutes.
Have you seen?
Sorry about that.
Let's not go there. But I think, put it on the corporate scale, real estate is the most expensive thing that they have, whether they're leasing or own. The best use of that space is important. Now, if we're taking all that information over 3, 6, 9 months, 12 months and putting it into their hands, we know we can count people going in and out. That's great with the cameras. We know we can then look at the environmental controls of that room, so we're giving more back. But we also do space management. So I can get my phone out, book a hot desk in our Windsor office a week in advance. It's called Logitune. It's on my laptop as well. That integrates into what's called Logitech View or LogiView, which is our wayfinding. So we might have interactive boards at the top of the stairs. Your floor plan will show desks. You can interactively with a touch screen, not ours, someone else's. Or you could use a rally board, because we have got a touch screen now. But it's an expensive screen just at the top of a stair. But and then you can just go, okay, that desk, and then you can have an inventory of what's there, like our webcams, MX keyboards, all that good stuff. You go, okay, that looks reasonable, I'll book that. So we're getting this overall picture of what a worker needs. You're saying people are being asked to come back to the office, but have they got a better environment to work than at home?
Probably all the right peripherals, yeah.
Maybe not. So we've got to give them tools to say, okay, in a week's time, You have your desk near the window, but book it in advance on your mobile Logi Tune app. You get in there and it's Martin Smith on the Logi Dock Flex. No one's going to touch it, and all my peripherals are connected. So this is just space management at a different scale at the desktop, but we do that in the meeting room as well. Obviously, Outlook, you can calendar if you invite the meeting room, but this ad hoc in and out of rooms kind of booking and debooking, it's just great concepts, and it just means us as users are in control, not the building, and that gives us a pride to go back and go, you know what, I can do my job better because I've got all these tools to help me manage my time in the office. I know I've got a desk, I know I've got a meeting room, I know what's in it, I know where my boss is. I'll go furthest from him possible in the building because I know where he's sitting. You know, it just gives you a lot of information. Again, it's at our fingertips, and that's important.
You guys made a conscious decision probably about 3 years ago to really get into this kind of software and features and functionality. Some have been successful, and I guess some a bit less, but this is at the big enterprise level, isn't it? I mean, I have to say, I never use my prompt builder at all, ever. I'm fairly sure that there's very few people that do, but I may be wrong. So is it been a really successful sort of area to move into, as you've been able to join that to the hardware that obviously you were very famous for?
I mean, we are a hardware company, but we have more software developers than hardware engineers now. That's how important the software aspect is. Yeah. It kind of drives. I mean, I think we've got great products, yeah. They're robust, well priced. People like them. Whether it's gaming, music, ultimate ears type stuff at home, we're bringing that innovation into the enterprise, which is good. So we're a trusted brand, but then it needs that extra sort of surround, and that's things like the software development is key for enterprise, and then also Select. We do room as a service from Logitech, which covers everything in that meeting room with SLAs, with RMAs to swap out equipment. We even give away free kits. If someone has 50 rooms on Select, we give a whole raft of kit to them as spares. We give them a dedicated service manager. So again, we're just adding real value to the day-to-day running of meeting rooms. But yeah, lots of software is being developed. We've acquired people like Meet.io for that Logitech View wayfinding thing, and we've integrated that in. So we've got rid of the Meet.io name. It's now Logitech, and these guys are telling us how to do it, how to play in the market. It's brilliant.
Neat.
That's awesome. And that whole desk booking thing, does that also integrate into things like Outlook, or do I need to use
a lot does. I mean, we have like the Logi Dock at home. I'm sure. Well, I hope we've given you one. If not, we will give you one.
I'm sure.
They're brilliant. It looks at my Outlook calendar, and then even if I've got dog walking at 1 o'clock, it still prompts me that I've got to walk my dog at 1 o'clock, and lights flash. So we're not actually beholden to a Teams environment where it only shows the Teams meetings coming up. It's actually a Zoom call or a Google Meets or walk the dog or step away from the desk. It tells us. So there's a lot of calendaring going on in the way we work, because we are beholden to our phone and our calendar to do what we do at home and at work.
So what your software does is sets that dock up for the person that's going to sit there.
It does. It's my personal calendar, and then it tells me you've got something to do.
Nice.
And it might also be less obtrusive than the pop-up that appears in your screen. Like, I'm
sure they'll do that as well. Some people like those, some people don't. I mean, that's the thing. You need different ways of doing it, don't you?
Yeah.
I like the idea of a third-party thing though that sits on the side of the desk and just does things. It's a bit like when the phone, you got things on both the phone and the monitor. It's actually nice to have them there, carry it with you. But no, that's good. Martin, thank you very, very much. Was that a last something?
Oh yeah, but it's more of a whole new region, because we've been talking about the new board that you got. We've been talking about the spot device that you got, but I know that at least in the conversations that I've been having with Logitech, that now there's this big push with the headsets without the dongles.
Yeah, native Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So we're first to market with a couple of sets. Obviously, it's the future because Windows 11 drives that sort of behaviour. It's less ports that you're using. I think people will really grow into that. So yeah, two of our sets currently, and then there's a third earmarked for native Bluetooth as well. So that's going to go strength to strength. I think our webcams were about 85-90% of market, so we're nowhere near that on headsets. We've got to be better. So these are things and innovations that will make us better. So we're always driving and striving for better.
All right. Well, time for the next guest. So thanks very much, Martin.
Cheers, guys.
Appreciate it. It's a good call.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoyable.
Thank
And
you.
I'll see you later on because I want to see how that spot looks like.
Got blue tack on the back, but don't tell anyone.
As long as it's fitted to the wall.
It's not a real one, but I'll talk you through
All
it.
right. Drop it down on the desk. That'd be great. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank
you. All
Awesome.
right. Cool. You liked that, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Doing a hardware day today.
Yes.
Thanks, my friend. Cheers. All right.
No, I always like. I mean, I'm a goodies guy. I always like goodies. So I mean, why not?
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
I
it's
absolutely
the same
agree.
talking to all these hardware vendors. I see all these cool things everywhere, and I'm like, new stuff to play with.
Yeah, that's why we come to these things. Well,
Yeah.
some of us do. The
Exactly.
swag and the new things to play with.
Boys and
Exactly.
toys.
Boys
Boys
and
and the toys.
Yes. What is the best swag you've seen today, Michael?
Oh, good question. That McLaren down, the Mercedes down.
Excellent answer.
Now, I remember you said that you were not a petrol head.
No, but I could be tempted.
Oh, good. I guess that's why they
Can
built this
try
place.
one of those simulators behind us.
Oh, yeah, they're
Maybe
fun.
all these deals we'll do it this afternoon before the event closes will allow us to do that. So,
Yeah. A bit of celebration for the team.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a cool place. You like the place?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I know. Taking my kids to the museum across the road, which is also brilliant
Yeah.
with the Concorde and the buses. And
Mm.
they loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So how has the show been so far?
Yeah, it's exceeded our expectations. It's first time exhibiting at Commsverse,
Yeah.
and it's done everything we wanted it to, and a little bit more as well. Like, it's all about, for us, exploring the ecosystem, looking at partners, validating a few things with customers, and see what's really bothering them, particularly in their mobile connectivity needs and what their challenges are. And it's been fantastic kind of melting pot of ideas. So you always leave these things with a lot of kind of enthusiasm and more things to go after.
Awesome. So,
Like a true salesman.
oh, so we had you on one of our pre-recordings, but for the people that are just tuning in right now, who are you? What do you do? What's the company about?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Michael Moorfield. Originally from Australia, but lived in London for the last 10 years, and I'm the co-founder of a company called eSIM Copilot, and we specialize in helping businesses manage their mobile connectivity across the globe. And what we've done with Microsoft is integrate eSIM distribution and mobile plan management into Microsoft Teams. So moving to a world where using all these AI agents to effectively manage and distribute mobile connectivity to your employees, all through the Teams environment, through Copilot, and through the other Microsoft tools. We launched that product 3 months ago at MWC, and it's kind of been this explosion of interest in partners looking to complement that with their existing kind of Operator Connect or Teams Phone mobile products, and also carriers looking to use this as a different way to kind of distribute their mobile phone plans to corporates. That's what we do.
Because if like very practically spoken, it's a service that lets an AI talk to you and get your eSIM on your phone. So, for example, she dropped her phone. Her screen's now buggy. She needs to get a new phone. We talked about eSIM because we now have just a regular thing that we need to pry in. So that could be a solution if she was working for a large company that would provide a new eSIM in an easier way.
Yeah, absolutely. So eSIM is slowly but surely becoming something we all know about. Some of us have used it maybe on like a holiday where instead of using your normal SIM card, you use an eSIM when you're abroad because it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
for
for the
maybe a-
data. Yeah.
And it means you don't need the paperclip, at the airport. You can just activate it when you arrive, and it's just all through the device. But more and more, we're seeing eSIM used for everyday use with your primary service. And the lost device is a great one. You know, employees leaves their phone in the back of a taxi in Singapore or not near the IT guy. He's lost his phone number, can't use one-time passwords for all of his logins. Like, it's completely paralyzes you.
Yeah.
Whereas with eSIM, all you need to do is from a server, you can issue a new embedded SIM. They can activate it on their replacement device, and they've got their phone number back straight away. And these kind of use cases, whether it's a lost phone, maybe it's a new phone, like the days of kind of coordinating the IT guy, come and see me to get your new phone, get the SIM, get everything transferred over, all that can just happen at home, post the device out to where the employee is, eSIM gets delivered through, we hope, eSIM Copilot, because it allows you to kind of manage that process of like being welcomed on your first day at work right through to kind of porting over to a new provider. We support all those kind of flows. But yeah, eSIM does make it a lot simpler than the old days of needing a SIM card.
So how does that work for my device? So let's say I'm an IT admin and I buy 10 new devices that I want to give out to 10 people that are being onboarded. How do I connect these to the service? How do I get that eSIM onto these devices?
Yeah, super simple. So those 10 devices go straight to the employees.
Okay.
We can then import the list of the device IDs into our platform.
EMI number.
The IMEI, and there's another acronym that we all need to know, which is your EID, which stands for your eSIM ID. So it's the identifier of the chip inside your device. And then you can then just decide which tariff plan or which operator eSIM needs to be issued to which device. So you can just do that remotely. You can configure that for which employees. And then when they turn on the device, that eSIM will be linked to the device, and they'll be able to install that with just from a push notification effectively on the device.
So they don't need to install anything. So I can just get to Amazon, get 3 phones into Spain, get 5 phones into Germany, and just get the numbers, put that into the service, they turn it on, and
the profile is linked. Yep, exactly.
Provisioned.
Awesome. Exactly. And then let's say 6 months down the road, you decide, we're going to renegotiate our mobile contract. We need to move everyone across. You can go through our platform, say we're going to now use this operator on these devices. We can then inform the user, we've signed this up, your number's going to be ported over on this day. Please install this eSIM in readiness. So it sits alongside your existing one. And then once it's complete, your number just moves across, and there's no kind of having to time it with when you need to swap out the SIM card.
We're going through a project at the moment. We've got 800 engineers with tablets or radio connected back. And we're just going to delay the project until we replace the tablets, because they will have eSIMs.
Yeah.
So then it's just a simple case of swapping them over. Because it doesn't matter how easy it sounds. You get an envelope tomorrow morning, there'll be a new card in it, we'll even give you a free paperclip. All you have to do to swap them out. You know, these are train drivers, they're lorry drivers, they're, box movers. The guy at the shop has to do that for them normally. Why am I suddenly asked to do this? So
yeah, exactly.
It's good value.
And it's even in the kind of non-smartphone things. There's devices all around the place that we don't even think about that have SIM cards in them.
Cars have been using eSIMs for years.
Yeah, they've been the real pioneers in the standard, because ultimately you can't recall every car to swap the operator, and also the SIM cards fail, so under temperature, vibration, so it's not rugged.
It's a mechanical,
and so
physical thing. Yeah.
An element of eSIM is also the hardware chip inside that allows you to reprogram these different operator profiles, and it's far more fault tolerant than that little bit of plastic that costs 10 cents from a Chinese manufacturer. So,
cool.
I really need to look in that. I never used an eSIM, so I really need to start looking for.
Orange have been using them for yonks.
For what?
Yeah,
for yonks?
Orange yonks. Yonks is ages, long time. Yonks, you know yonks? I mean, England, it must be another English thing.
He wants to look fancy and
No, yonks is an
Hype and
old-fashioned
all of
word.
that.
Don't worry. But no. I
Anyway.
mean, Orange have been using eSIMs for a long time, so you've
I
not
never
been
used
given
it.
a card, and so yeah, they just put them in, which is cool. So
Right.
how interested has it been in the show for you guys?
Yeah, so we stand out a little bit because there's not so many. We have brought mobile management into the Teams, and the closest thing is kind of the Teams Phone mobile product and what it does. An eSIM can be used with that product, but the onboarding flow is a lot different to what we're doing within eSIM Copilot. And so for us, it's been a little bit of an eye opener as people are starting to look at can they use some of the eSIMs delivered through eSIM Copilot with products like Teams Phone Mobile, because this is a far easier way to onboard users
Yeah.
to that and guide them through the process. Because there's a few battle scars and war stories from people on the floor around, you know, the CEO lost service for a day during the Teams Phone Mobile migration, or, you know, things not going well, or the end users don't understand that voicemail is different, or call diversion is different, or the way I dial is slightly different. So they just got lumped with it and they don't know how it's different to their previous phone. And so using something that's a little more intelligent and tailored to what's happening with the operator through something like eSIM Copilot, we've had a bit of interest around. And then also with Operator Connect and just using fixed line kind of mobile numbers, fixed line dial numbers,
Right.
but then complementing it with maybe a data-only eSIM profile through eSIM Copilot as a way to maybe for some employees not even to have a corporate mobile number anymore, whereas they just use Teams. If they need to make a call, they do it through Operator Connect, and if they need mobile data, then they have it delivered through something like eSIM Copilot. So there's a few interesting ideas we've had with people on the floor.
Basically, allows you to separate your corporate costs from your private phone.
Yeah, exactly. So I can still use the phone to make my private calls, and then all the work calls come in through Teams.
And most of them come through digitally. I mean, we've been pulling numbers from Teams for over a year and a half now, where people are just not using them.
But the common bit of feedback is, well, why am I paying personally for my mobile data? Can't the company handle that? And so the fact that you could have your personal SIM and your personal number for WhatsApp and the like, and then have a business data plan that is kind of shared amongst every employee. It's an interesting thing. And we'd do that kind of with partners already in that Operator Connect space. So yeah, it's been a few ideas from the show.
Awesome. Your final question, the one you always ask. Oh, no, yeah, we did the AI, so that's okay.
No, I thought
I
Anouk
allow
was
them one question
waving.
each, so
I thought Anouk was waving like I've got a question to ask, but okay.
she's just
no,
flashing,
cool.
drying her nails.
Oh, okay.
So telling the
Look
next
at this.
people that
Yeah.
we'll be here in a few
Okay.
minutes.
Something needs to go good today.
Okay. We had a few technical hiccups, but
Wow.
no. The one question is that I'm asking everyone. Like we've got all this swag from a bunch of people that we have here. So what is the swag situation at your booth?
Wow. Steve was over earlier criticizing for the lack of the physical purple robot,
true,
which is our
yeah.
mascot. So I've
Oh, okay.
disappointed him. No, honestly, we're not big believers in like plastic physical waste. And one of the things that we talk about with the SIM transition is actually how much waste goes into SIM cards and their packaging. So for years, we never really kind of have that message and then start giving away key rings that people throw away after the show.
Mhm.
And it's a surprising amount of SIM cards that get made never ever see the light of day in a customer's hands. So what operators do, they order
Really?
millions of SIM cards every year because, well, they might need them, but they actually just sit there and many just go to waste. And by the time the brand has changed, they just end up getting
Another new
Kinda
SIM card
wasted.
they never use.
Wow.
And so you look at the stats, like there's still about 5 billion SIM cards get made every single year, and we're not getting 5 billion new mobile connections.
Oh, it's interesting.
Um,
So if you basically go to eSIM stand, they will give you a SIM card and say, "There you go. Here's your eSIM. Look after it carefully, all right? But it's very ecologically sound." And you go, "But there's nothing there." Gotcha. Let me tell you a story.
come and check it out.
Yeah. No. All right, good. Well, as you can see, the world still is real for some of the swag, and we like swag.
I'm
But
sorry
we,
to
we
disappoint.
use it all.
No. It's actually
You're actually the
it's-
second person that's told
Yeah.
us exactly the same thing.
I
We're being
think-
careful.
So one of the things that I like about Commsverse is that the swag quality is pretty high,
Yeah.
because we all been to conferences where we can have like tons of pens and tons of plastic thingamajigs that we just throw away indeed. But
Don't finish.
yeah,
My
That's
daughter
good.
does want us to make the purple robot
You
so
must.
she can have one, but
You must.
yeah, we'll see.
I like that. I
Alright.
could imagine that purple robot floating on above the desk as a balloon.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are not good. No, they're aluminium, aren't they? They might even be recyclable. Yes, put
They
that on
need
the
to
list.
try to make one in Lego.
Ah,
That sounds like a fun project.
and the kids will love it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
yes.
for joining us.
Thanks very much.
You're going to do the Lego one, are you?
Mm.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Cool.
Oh.
All righty.
I forgot what kind of cool solution that it actually is.
Yeah, it's neat. Hey, how are you
Hello.
doing?
Oh, very well, thank you. How are
Cool.
you?
Good. It's been a year.
It has been a year. Another year older.
Another year older, but another year of stories. So we're only allowed to talk about stories between Commsverse last year and this year.
Okay.
Not
Can we do
yet
that?
a year older.
And not quite.
Not quite.
2 more days. Yes, cool. Enjoying yourselves?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been an interesting year for CallCabinet. We've been acquired by Smash, hence the
Smash
company of Smash.
Smash.
So lots of exciting.
Smash.
Yeah.
Smash.
So lots of exciting things have happened there.
Okay.
Yes, how excited were you when they said, "Hey, we're going to get taken over by Smash"?
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting name, but it's an exciting firm. So lots of cool things that they do.
Nice.
Okay.
Do me a favour and flip the badge over, because I actually can't remember your name. All I know is Simon drank 2 beers last night at the bar because they were both crossed off.
They were.
Yeah. Well,
They
come
weren't
on.
all for me, I promise.
Well, both of them. It's not too bad if you only had 2.
Exactly.
So, CallCabinet recording. I'm going from memory here, so let's
It
see what I
is.
can remember from
Yeah.
last year.
Call recording for compliance, and also we have built-in analytics services as well, so we can analyze what's being said, how it's being said, and report that to the people who need to see that.
Nice. And lots of people this year have been booking new services, and
They have. I mean, especially as the platform's developing as well. So at CallCabinet, we work very hard to move with the times and make sure we're up to date. So the famous, infamous AI is also now appearing within our portal, within our portfolio. So as well as being able to ask, we've got various different AI bots throughout the platform. You can either ask it how to do something within the platform, maybe how to find a call, or can you tell me how to change some settings? So a user guide AI bot. But then also you can go into your analytics tool and actually go and ask natural language questions about what's going on. So if you like an executive overview of all of the calls that are in your portal. So from that respect, you could say, what are the major pain points in our firm today? What are customers calling up about, and where is their problems? Or for that matter, what's the best thing that everyone's calling in about today? What's the really good things that are happening? Or from a sales perspective, maybe it's even from a compliance perspective, or multiple different reasons, but you can get that information and really utilize it effectively.
nice. Some stats. So, see whether you know these answers. They're just questions in my head. So, how many minutes of calls have you recorded since we last spoke?
Oh, that is a very good question. Since we last spoke, about 5 billion minutes.
Billion minutes.
Wow.
And if I wanted to find out what happened at 1,754,016 minutes, you could tell me.
Well, I couldn't tell you no, because all of those call recordings are personal to the companies that are actually recording them. So I can't access, as CallCabinet, we can't access any customer data for obvious reasons, GDPR among one. But what we can do but our customers can see their own calls. They can access their own. They can analyze their own calls as well. They're all encrypted in storage as well. So, but they're all there. I could go and tell you which one it possibly is, but I couldn't tell you what was
a
in
really
it.
good question. It was a good.
It was a good question.
So where are they being stored at the customer? Is that somewhere on Azure, or is that
In Azure, yes. So CallCabinet is built as a cloud-first product, and it's built within our Azure environment. But we utilize the Azure data centers globally so that each customer can data sovereignly store their calls themselves. Our main line, our number one route to storage is obviously our own Azure environment. However, we can work with customers if they want to be able to either store it within their own Azure environment, in another storage environment, but also for that matter on-premise if they want to really go back to old school and stick everything in a black box in their basement or somewhere else in a server room. Then they can do that as well. But we're cloud first, as I say, with Azure with a 256-bit rotating encryption key.
of course, as you do.
Yeah. So yeah.
Data sovereignly.
Data sovereign. And we can do multiple region as well. So if you've got a business with multiple different regions, an office in New York, one in London, one in Hong Kong, and one in Paris, we can data sovereignly store each one of those different regions within region, and then but access centrally from one portal. But you can also, with the capabilities of the granular permissions, you can actually specify who can see what calls and who can download or play back, etc.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. So within an organization, a call center manager can see their queues or their teams. And I'm guessing you're using the AI to be able to sort of identify those key calls, good calls, bad calls, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we within the analytics tool, we can specify whether a call is positive or negative. And we can draw that to the attention of that manager if they want to be able to see that. They can set their own parameters, so they can have keyword alerts. So if from a positive or a negative standpoint, they want to go and just check on an agent to make sure that they're working effectively, they can do that within their analytics tool. But the beauty of what's coming in the future is the omni-channel as well. So with the acquisition by Smarsh, Smarsh is a data gathering company for compliance and analysis and archiving. And so in the future, we will also have the capability to be able to bring other mediums of data capture into CallCabinet for the same type of analysis, such as WhatsApp calling, Teams chat, SMS, and for that matter, email and other types of capabilities. That will be coming in as well. So it's not just all about voice. It can be you getting a multimodal analysis of the data within your business, especially as Jack, one of my colleagues, testifies. He recently got a new car and needed to sort out some insurance, and ended up speaking to the insurance company under multiple different ways. So you speak to them either on the phone, and then he got passed to somebody else who sent them an SMS, then he had to catch up with them on WhatsApp, and all of those different mediums should be captured in a compliance organization, and we can do that and then bring that into analysis.
Brilliant.
So can users or companies change the analytics also, like their preferred, like they want it, or is it just one set and that's all?
No, absolutely not. So yeah, it's everyone has the capability to be able to focus their analysis. They can add on multiple different tools as well to be able to analyze in specific ways. They can amend them. They can create new analytics tools, because once the data's there, you can analyze it as many times as you want. There's no limit to that. It's just changing the actual tool you're utilizing, or the data set that you're tracking it against.
Defining where you get the best value from what part of the data set, I guess.
Exactly.
It's not just about what you're recording, the start time, end time, and we're seeing, of course, AI looking at the sense of the calls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's about being able to get as much information. At the end of the day, call recording is a data source.
Yes.
But it's usually trapped. It's usually a trapped data source, and what CallCabinet enables you to do is unlock that data, get the information out of it, and then utilize it for the benefit of the company and the people who are working there.
Awesome.
I love that. I think that's That's a brilliant way of working, because indeed sometimes, I mean, if I talk to KLM, I'm doing that on WhatsApp because I know I get a pretty quick response. But yeah,
Exactly.
that's brilliant.
You
I
never
love
thought
that.
about
Yeah.
what's happening at the other end. You just make your call.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the same kind of analogy was this morning as I was trying to get the lift, and then actually it was when we went before we left this morning. I saw you. I thought
You need to
I'll
talk
hold
into the
lift.
mic
Yeah,
a little
I am
bit
talking
more,
to the
because I'm
microphone.
not
That's
hearing you
fine.
very well.
That's because you're going deaf. It's to
That's
do with the grey
probably
beard.
true. Yeah.
Then we all
You had to
going
say
deaf.
it once every call, don't you? Yeah. Anyway, but I was on the lift thinking I'll hold the lift for Marine, and then of course I had this vision of all the floors above, all the people still going, "Where's the lift? Where's the lift?" So from my perspective, I just want an SMS message and tell me what to do. But of course, you don't think about the fact it's going to land somewhere in a call center with all the other messages, and it's just a message until they can tie the other data from the other services you got.
Yeah, but it's also a better way of tracking your users or your customers or your whatever, because it doesn't matter if they call you or text you or whatever.
Exactly.
You have the full log of all the interactions.
Yes, and you also learn the best way to contact you, the way people prefer to contact you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got sentiment, like, are they difficult people to talk to? Maybe they're older people, they're younger people, they've got technical knowledge, or they
Can
don't.
they type very well on their phone?
Yeah, and you need to be able to understand that, and also be able to analyze. Sometimes people talk. My son, he types to me in shorthand, and sometimes I have to read it 3 or 4 times until I can understand exactly what's being said.
Yeah.
But with the use of analysis and AI, you can actually get to that a lot quicker and be able to understand what's going on within your business or that's around. And for that matter, so especially we talk about different verticals, obviously. So you talk financial services, it's all around compliance. And contact center, it's all about how the customer is. But then you also have to think about things like healthcare. So in healthcare, if you're analyzing data, especially phone calls, or nowadays, especially if trying to book hospital doctor's appointments, you might do it over SMS or email or WhatsApp. You can understand quite quickly if you've got maybe an epidemic or something like that coming, because all of a sudden you'll be analysing the calls and the data which is coming in, and you can quickly draw, there's a lot of people who are being
Trends.
sick or whatever it might be.
Mhm.
And so you can spot trends very, very quickly in that industry and on obviously in multiple other industries, and then utilize and be able to act on that a lot quicker.
If suddenly a lot of people are calling in because a certain feature is suddenly stopped working, or a certain thing on your device suddenly stopped working, so that's
Yes,
brilliant to detect that early and to get something on it. Yeah.
So, from simply recording phone calls so everybody knows what deal they made and what they agreed to at the bank, you're now dealing in doctors' surgeries and call centers and...
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely. And multiple different verticals,
Yeah.
whether that's, as you say, in health industry, in e-commerce, or whether it's just in legals as well. We work in the legal sector as well. But multiple different industries all have different use cases. And the beauty of CallCabinet is you can tailor your analytics and what you use it for to your own personal needs. Or you can use our dedicated data scientists to be able to help you to build that up.
Beautiful.
A dedicated data scientist.
You want that on your job title, don't you?
No. But I know that they exist, and I even saw this morning a job description that they're looking at Microsoft for more data scientists. But I think that's a brilliant service that you also give them. Like, we're not giving you just the tools and the software, but and we'll try to set it up with you, but we will actually have someone to think together with you what could be good outcomes that might improve the way you do your business.
Well, at the end of the day, if you think about it, you can give somebody the tool to be able to do it, and you can try and train them to be able to utilize it effectively. But if it doesn't work properly, then they aren't going to keep it for very long. If they're not finding the benefit, there's no point. And so we have those data scientists who can help you be able to tweak it or just give you advice. And we do it maybe as sometimes a monthly check-in with, depending on what subscription you go for, to be able to make sure that you're on track, you're getting the results that you want, and that there's no errors or false positives and things like that, and just help you to tweak it and make it work the most effectively for you to get the results that you need out of it.
Nice.
Amazing.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for spending time with us, Simon. That was great
Thank you
fun.
very much. Thank you for having me
And,
again.
good to
and
see you.
look forward.
Yeah.
to seeing you again next year, hopefully.
Yeah, you never
Awesome.
know. We'll find out what you've been up to.
Absolutely. Thank you very much,
Thank
everyone.
you
Thank
very
you.
much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was a real mix.
Yes. Yes, some hardware, some calling, analytics, some... Yeah.
And it's even more impressive now you know what analytics are.
I have to agree. That is very, very true.
Yeah, and
But-
data scientist is...
To be honest, Marine should ask the question about the swag because I do love
Oh,
these ones.
it's
From
yes.
those guys.
We talked
You
with
was
some
ready
other
for it.
people, and this is the best swag.
Of course.
So we got a winner. We got a swag winner who did the best swag at the conference. We need to do something about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Simon's not here, but Simon, that's great swag. Thank you very much. We
Oh
like that.
man.
All right,
Yes.
onwards to the next one. We will catch it with you guys a little bit later.